Oh yeah, Tashi Dele. Hello everyone. Hope you are all doing well and welcome back to Lojong session. So as usual, we dedicate some time dedicating doing some powerful mantra recitations for the benefit of all the sentient beings. Peace and happiness and enlightenment. Then it's specifically dedicating to those who right very now going through sufferings from natural disaster, diseases, and also dedicate to those of family members and friends, in particularly who request our prayer supports. Those people who are in my prayer list, and also today that kindly everyone have to dedicate those who ever pass away within last 49 days, such as late Madam Te Kai Hyang and Kat Musia, and also dedicate to those who are going through difficult time with the COVID, contracting COVID at this very stage around the world. Even those, many people have already had a vaccine, but there's a lot of COVID cases, in particularly where people are being a bit of careless after receiving vaccine, and people tend to contract with the COVID. So everyone, we dedicate this for protections for everyone, and also right very now who are in difficulty due to COVID, such as Natalia and her two little children, Feroslav and Vasilisa, to be overcome, all these challenges, and the treatment be effective and swiftly and complete recovery. Yeah. So we do this practice on the basis of setting correct motivation, also for the teaching, bodhicitta motivation, and that on the basis of proper refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Sangye Jodang Zoye Jona La Janju Bado Dane Jazunje Daje Jinzoje Be Sonam Je Dola Penje Sangye Jubara Isho Sangye Jodang Zoye Jona La Janju Bado Dane Jazunje Daje Jinzoje Be Sonam Je Dola Penje Sangye Jubara Isho Sangye Jodang Zoye Jona La Janju Bado Dane Jazunje Daje Jinzoje Be Sonam Je Dola Penje Sangye Jubara Isho Kange doze ne zone dawa dam je bang be jere dam be je ne den je bang go dam de la ja ze lo do ni ni je zon do ju be la ma ze je zen je kan je den de ge chana be mo den je ja zo la so wa de zon da ju jin ye lo zem je dam je de wa da de we ju dan dem bra ju je zem je dam je du nga da du nga je ju dan da wa ju Zemje damje donga mebe dewa dami dewa joje zemje damje nyere jada nye danda ve danyo la nebara gyuroje. Zemje damje dewa dan dewe jodan dembra joje zemje damje donga dan donga jenjo dan dawa joje zemje damje donga mebe dewa dami dawa joje zemje damje nyere jada nye danda. Danyola nebara gyuroje. Tabje doje jajere doje jenje mendo doje bejomba zeje lombo dabo zebe go shaje jabo dela Chaze lo dayata om muni muni ma muni yezo 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 dayata om gade bara sam gade bodhi 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 yezo Om Benzang Guru Bema Sede 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 Mime zeve derje jereze deme jembe ombo jambe yan de bo male jumze zanwe da ganje jembe zuje zonga ba lo zan da bi jam la zoat Mime zeve derje jereze deme jembe ombo jambe yan de bo male jumze zanwe da ganje jembe zuje zonga ba lo zan da bi jam la zoat Mime zeve derje jereze deme jembe ombo jambe yan de bo male jumze zanwe da ganje jembe zuje zonga ba lo zan da bi jam la zoat de mime zeve derje jereze deme jembe ombo jambe yan Tupo mali chonze sawe da ganchi jembe zujen zonga ba lo san tabi shab la zo wade mingme tsewe terjen chere se teme jembe ombo jambe yang tupo mali chonze sawe da ganchi jembe zujen zonga lo san tabi shab la zo wade mingme tsewe terjen chere se teme jembe ombo jambe yang tupo mali chonze sawe da ganchi jembe zujen zonga Lozan tabi shala zowan de mingme zewe derchen chere se temi jembe ombo jembe yang dupo mali chumzen zamyen da kanji jembe zujen zonga ba Lozan tabi shabla zowan de omo mani peme hun omo mani peme hun om mani peme hun om mani peme Om mani peme hum, 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 om mani peme Om mani peme hum, 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 om mani peme Om mani peme hum, mani peme hum, om mani peme hum, om mani peme hum, om mani peme Omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha. Omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha. 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 Omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha. Omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha, omo dare dure zoha. Omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo. Tayata omo beganze, ma beganze, ranza samo gade zo. Tayada Omo Beganze, Beganze, Maha Beganze, Beganze, Ranza Samonga de Zo. Tayada Omo Beganze, Beganze, Maha Beganze, Beganze, Ranza Samonga de Zo. Tayada Omo Beganze, Beganze, Maha Beganze, Beganze, Ranza Samonga de Zo. Tayada Omo Beganze, Beganze, Maha Beganze, Beganze, Ranza Samonga de Zo. Tayada Omo Beganze, Beganze, Ma Beganze, Beganze, Ranza Samonga de Zo. Tayada Omo Beganze, Beganze, Ma Beganze, Beganze, Ranza Samonga de Zo. Omo mare zemazo, 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 omo mare zemazo. Daje Jawa Damje Dan, Jeba Yela Sambe Denye Game Sejong Dru Bala Me Jingi Lo, Daja Jungwe Jense Dru, Dejo Mejo Yansas, Sende Zemele Jume Jiba Gule Nyudo Jabdo So, Jawa Deye Nyudo Dan, Wase Jema Dujon, Towa Je Jama Leba, Deye Sala Goba Jo, Jambe Bawa Jedra Jemba Dan, Gundo Zambo Deyan De Jingi, Deda Gunje Jezo Dan No Jin, Jawa Dedan Tam Jerabdo, Teso jebe jawa tamje de ngowa gana judo ngoba de daje jebe zawa de gja sambo je je rab do ngowa je pama zemje tamje den dan den ju je ngendo tamje ta do dongwa da chanjo zemba gana zo jo ba de da gunje molan do jo je zemje ne ba jinye ba nyodo ne le da jo je de ne ne ma le ba da do jo wa me barai jo Bedanzo wa mi gebe ije no bo bazamje semje ra wa gunze be samba jin drebe da ji yo. Okay, thank you. Oh yes. So today I will read through the commentary on labeling out all conceptions. We have done the root text on last session, and I've done brief commentary on that. So today, the commentary here, very much either the notes or the commentary by Atisha, together with some additional additional notes or the teachings could be very much the Shunu Gyalchok, most very much, even though there's no clarity exactly, which area are the one that the Shunu Gyalchok is the one that who compile. So even the translation, the team, unable to really figure it out exactly, as well as also on the Tibetan, the root text also didn't, clarify that. So in any way, it is a very blessed teaching, and so all this, whoever the person, whoever the practitioner, that compile, these teachings together, is all are high realized bodhisattvas and enlightened beings. So therefore, it is so beneficial for us to, learn through it. So I will not, do additional, commentary on it. So this is a different perspective of the commentary that I've already offered from my perspective, earlier, based on the root text. So it says like this: with a great reverence, I pay homage to and seek refuge in the precious teacher, Lord Silingba, father and son, including his entire lineage. Pray, bless me. So this obviously is not by, Adisha. So this has to be the master that who compiles this Lojong treatise, very much Shunno Gyalchok. Very much, he could be the one. So then the saying goes on. Lord Silingba, the embodiment of wisdom and great compassion, once said to Adisha, my son, Adisha, Silingba's own word, my son, in order to serve others during this era of degeneration, you must distill the secret words of the discourses, scriptures, reasonings, and all the pit instructions of the teachers, and undertake their practice in one sitting. For this, you will require the following teachings, which makes you invulnerable to sickness, harm, interferences from obstructive forces, demons, and upholder of false teachings, and all such adverse conditions and impediments. So this is what the Selingba mentioned to Adisha. Then he taught the following. So then Selingba taught the following verses. Living out all false conceptions, carry forth the force of all antidotes, concentrate all aspirations into one, and seek the path where all path coverage. They are the four enlightened factors, the antidote. They are vital if you are to tame barbarian borderlands. They are essential too in the age of degeneration, to bear with misguided ways of negative companions. So, so then Adisha's commentary to it. The meaning of these verses is as follows. It is essential to label out the conception at the very site of their origin. The origin of the conception, the false conceptions, is the ignorant, ignorant grasping to the true existent. So, in other words, the ignorant grasping of true existent. Yeah. You should examine where do this appears, to what sense faculties do they appears, in what shape and color do they appears. So, using different logical reasonings and analysis, how we examine to find the true nature of emptiness on its basis, whether to do with the self, whether to do with its aggregates and the rest of the phenomena. So, so it's talking about that. Then I continue reading. Rather, I will continue reading. They are like a venomous snake or rabid dog. Do not allow them be near you. So it's talking about the self-grasping ignorant or the conceptual, hallucinations. Not to be near you. Do not let arise in our continuum. And do not use the conceptual mind to interpret when our senses relating to the objects, how we normally do. Otherwise, in this conception and it is root, the ignorant, can be so dangerous causing harm to us, they are very much like venomous snakes and rabid dog. So rather, without giving into procrastination, destroy them the moment they arise by applying the antidotes. So the way to not to allow them to arise in our continuum, or as a word here, not to let them come near to us, is through applications of antidotes. In the antidotes, bringing emptiness meditation during the session and during the post-session, carrying the antidote as a dream-like emptiness practice, and during the session, the meditation on emptiness like space. So through engaging in the practice of emptiness, both in session and meditation, so that is the way how you apply the antidote. The text says, it has been stated in the sutra. So Adisha quoted some sutras here. It says like this: "O attachment, I have now discerned your root. You arise from the proliferation of concepts." Also from the sutra says, conceptualization is the great ignorance that casts one into samsara's ocean. So very easy to understand, isn't it? Such as attachment, the rest of the delusions. Now we have to come to understand, learning from the teaching that it comes from the root delusion, which is the self-grasping ignorant, the self-grasping ignorant of true existence. That which is the proliferation of concept. So therefore, since conceptions, all our ordinary persons' conceptions are influenced by the conceptual ignorance of self-grasping, self-grasping mind, then that makes our conceptions great ignorance, and that casts, that really accumulate all the causes for us to actualize the samsaric sufferings. Then the text quoted the Chandrakirti's entering the middle way. It says like this: ordinary beings are chained by their conceptualization. Yogics who are free of conceptualization gain freedom. That which reveal the falsity of conceptualizations. The learned one taught, it is the fruit of thorough analysis. So ordinary being like us is completely, chained by, false perceptions, which is the conceptual mind. So whatever we apprehend mistakenly. Whatever we perceive only the superficial nature of things. We never able to see the ultimate nature of things and phenomena. And there where we, create all the mistakes, such as the mistakes of the grasping, when our senses relate to the object, when our mind relate to the thoughts, then we commit mistakes of grasping of attachment, grasping of aversion, grasping of ignorance. And from there, then our three doors, commit negative karma. And that's how the fruitful, the causes of samsara accomplish. And that's how that, endlessly, we suffer in samsara from beginningless lifetime up to now. So therefore, the yogics, the true seeker of liberations, through well understanding of the teaching, the the absolute dharma of emptiness, through learning, through learning the correct view of emptiness with thorough analysis, thorough reasonings, such as the five great Mayanic lines of reasonings to establish the emptiness of true existence, bring about definite understanding, definite revealing in their understanding the faults of all the conceptions. So due to that, all the yogis, able to be free from conceptions and gain, all the cessations, including the stages of liberation, all the way up to enlightenment. So, so therefore, if we do not wish to experience samsara, if we wish to be free from ignorance and delusions, the condemnation of karma, then we have to follow the footstep of the yogics. We learn about the various effective reasonings to really to understand the correct emptiness, like such as hundreds and hundreds of reasonings. Then at least to learn these five major great Mayanic lines of reasoning, that which contain the entire the great reasonings to establish the emptiness. Is such as the these five great reasonings. The first one, the line of reasoning parted from being either singular or plural, called Chidutagi Tensik. Then the second one is the line of reasoning Vajra dropless. Doche Sengme Tensik. And the third one is the line of reasoning refuting the arising of something already existing or something already existing or non-existence. Mushikenko Ketensik. Then the fourth one is refuting the four positioning. The third one in Tibetan I say wrongly. Yome Keko Kitensik. The fourth one is refuting the four positioning of arisings, which is they call the Mushikenko Kitensik. Then the fifth one is the reasoning, the line of reasoning of dependent arising, Ribeja Potente Kitensik. So that is the fifth one is the king of reasoning of the dependent arising. So you see, so the line of reasoning, the first one, the line of reasoning parted from being either singular or plural, the reasoning of neither one or no many. Use the analyzing the essential nature of all phenomena of the three categories to liberation. So this line of reasoning opens the way to the voidness of the true existent. So the classical example that you can use, the subject, the all phenomena, such as sprout, as a lack of true existence, because it is neither truly existent singular entity nor truly existent plural entity. So the first reasoning, you can use example any phenomena, such as like a sprout, understanding that why ultimate nature of the sprout is emptiness, why ultimate nature of the sprout is a lack of true existence, because it is neither a true existing singularly entirety nor truly existing plural entities. So this is how you analyze. So you can use, form, the rest of the aggregates, including self. Then the second reasoning, the line of reasoning, Vajra droplet, Doje Sengme Tenzing, the reasoning of the Vajra fragment used to analyze causes. So this line of reasoning is called Vajra droplet because it destroys incorrect view about the nature of causality, like droplets of water wearing down a rock mountain. Of the three gateway to the liberation, this line of reasoning opened the way to the lack of a sign of a true existing cause. The classical example is the subject, the fundamental phenomena, such as a sprout again. Lack a truly existing arising, such as sprout lacks the truly existing arising because it does not arise from it is truly existing self, from something truly existing that is others, or from both, or from neither, equivalent to from no causes. So basically, it does not exist by true existing causes within self, and nor exist true existing causes by others' causes. Then the line of reasoning refuting arising of something already exists or non-existent, used to analyze results of the three gateway to liberation. This line of reasoning opens the way to the lack of hope for the true existing result. The classical example is that the subject fundamental phenomena, such as sprout, lack true existence because it does not arise as something that, at the time of its causes, was truly existing, truly non-existent, both or neither. So not only, the earlier the reasoning is to refute the production by true existing cause. Now this one is refuting the production, by true existing result. So this. Then the fourth one, the line of reasoning refuting the four possibilities of arising, used to analyze both causes and results. The classical example, the subject fundamental phenomena, lack true existence because, again you use as a sprout, because from the deepest point of view, one truly existing cause cannot give rise to either one or many true existing results, and many true existing causes cannot give rise to either one or many true existing results. So from the all four positioning, existing, non-existent, both, by neither, in all area, like such as example of like sprout, do not exist truly or inherently. Then the fifth, which is called the king of reasoning, the reasoning of interdependent arising. The line of reasoning dependent arising is the king of reasons, used to establish the lack of true existence of all phenomena. The classic example is the subject functional phenomena cannot be established as a having true existence because it dependently arises. So because of the dependent arising, therefore there's no true existence. Because of dependent arising, therefore there's no inherent existence. Because of dependent arising, because of I, because of sprout, because of the rest of phenomena, it is reality, it is nature is dependent arising on it is factors, either as a causes, either as a part and particles, or either as a dependent on the mind, labeling of the mind. So therefore it does not exist in true existence. Therefore it is emptiness of true existence. Therefore it is emptiness of substantial existence. Therefore it is emptiness of inherent existence. Therefore it is emptiness of dualistic existence. So so these are the reasoning that the yogics they use one by one phenomena, starting from self, the ones aggregates, then rest of the phenomena, uh, you know, uh, uh, actualizing their absolute nature and bringing, revealing the faults of our conceptual mind, uh, uh, the faults of proliferated concept that we usually carry as ordinary beings mind. Then that's how that they gain perfection on the path by eradicating gradually the layer by layer of the defilement, and they actualize the absolute freedom of liberation. So this is something that we should learn to practice. Yeah. So in any way, the commentary here for the earlier verses, and also the the essence, the meaning of uh, these sutras and the scriptures that Atisha quoted in this text. So the Atisha's commentary is: all the secret scriptures and the treatise of the great vehicle, such as those cited here, assert conceptualization to be great obstacle to attaining enlightenment. It is crucial, therefore, not to fall prey to procrastination, since, as it says here, harboring too many thoughts prevent you from reaching far, preventing you from reaching far. Do not engage in the proliferation of thoughts, even with respect to the profound truth. Rather, consolidate your aspiration decisively on the single task of destroying the false conception. Even the sutra described all mental engagements as a Mara's activities. So the essence is, best if able to, then try to summarize our practice, our understanding, everything onto emptiness. Whatever we learn to the reasoning for us to get to, complete understanding of emptiness. Whatever teaching we learn, whatever stages of the path that we practice that to actualize the path of emptiness. Whatever different sort of antidotes that we apply to overcome different sorts of problems, different sort of negations, is to train ourselves eventually to be able to use the ultimate antidote of emptiness to overcome our problems, overcome the faults, overcome the defilements. So in fact, too many different ideas, too many different concepts, too many different scattered, practices, then too many different, types, variations, different engagements in activities, even in the Dharma practices, regard as Mara's activities. Mara's activities here means there's a danger of, Mara's activities is because it danger for us getting away from the point, the essence, which is the emptiness, you see. So therefore, even when we practice Nongdro, when we learn, the teachings of the lower vehicles, when we learn the philosophical view of the earlier philosophical presentations, and even when we practice, Vinaya practice, different type of sutric practices, ultimately we have to have a motivation, we have to have an idea, planning that everything you're taking as a resources for us to get to the conclusion of, conclusion practice on emptiness. You see, everything become, conducive condition to actualize the practice of emptiness. You see, if we are unable to do that, then if we spend too much time distracting here and there and other practices than emptiness, then we lose our point. So it becomes an obstacle to our achieving the path and the cessation. Therefore, even the sutra describe the all mental engagement as a Mara's activities. So the mental engagement in many different others field also can be obstacles. Then no question about the mental engagement, through false conception. It's definitely the key Mara, to our spiritual achievement, isn't it? Yeah. Then I continue here reading. Therefore, until you attain omniscient Buddhahood, concentrate all your aspiration and relate all the ground and path, such as the path of accumulation, seeing, path of seeing, and the meditation to destroying false conception. The instant they arise by applying their antidotes. So all the the 5 paths. The main path, application of direct antidote to the false conception, actualized from path of seeing onward. Then here, when we engage in a path of accumulation and path of preparations, the main focus is for us to reach the path of seeing, which is the ultimate path of emptiness. So therefore, even the name, name of the path, path of accumulation. You accumulate merit for what? You accumulate merit to actualize direct realization of emptiness, so that you can able to achieve enlightenment, liberation. And the second part, why I call as part of preparation, is a preparation stage. It is not an actual stage. It's not an actual arriving of the stage of the path. It's a preparation stage of the path to reach to the actual path of seeing. You see, to see emptiness directly. You see. In brief, every time a conceptualization arises, make sure that it is antidote arrive there too. So, so you see, so we have to train, we have to train in meditation on the antidote that's so familiar, so habitual in our continuum that whenever the negation arises, the antidote timely arrive there and negate them, open onto them, antidote to them. You see, so at this stage, like beginner like myself, we do learn, we do know what are the antidote, we do learn about that, but we fail to actualize antidote timely arriving when the delusion arises, when the negation arises. This is our problem, isn't it? And that is because lacking of meditation, lacking of habituating deeply in our continuum. So that is, the deep habituing, deep familiarizing of the antidote is through meditation. So just learning is not good enough. Just contemplating is not good enough. We need to meditate. You see, we need to do an absorption meditation on the on emptiness, what you learn, the wisdom that what you gain from the contemplation, analytical contemplation on emptiness. We need to bring into absorption meditation, single pointed absorption meditation. So that way, then when we are in the post meditation, then we are still on the journey of the path. We have not reached state of liberation. It's a long way, isn't it? Even someone who is residing at the ten bhumi, they're also not completely free from the defilement yet. You see, still there's it's still, if you are not fully equipped with the antidote timely, there's a danger of dominating by the defilement, and no question about we as ordinary beginner, always in danger. So therefore, we need to do a dedicated absorption meditation on emptiness, so familiar that it is almost inseparable from your thoughts, inseparable from your awareness all the time, even in the post meditation. So then, whenever there's a sign of the negation or negativity is about to arise, the antidote already overpower them. So that way, then we always stay lively, in antidote to all the negations. You see, so like that. So usually, in our day-to-day life, in discussions, in conversations, we often ask question, is it, um, why I am unable to apply antidote when the delusion arises, isn't it? We do ask this question, isn't it? I know this teaching, I know that teaching, I know exactly, what antidote to what kind of delusions, and I also learn about that. I know them, but I fail terribly to apply when the delusion arises, like such as anger arises, you're unable to apply the antidote. Attachment arises, unable to apply the antidote, isn't it? Grasping arises in any form, unable to apply antidote. So this is our usual difficulty that we all face. So we do ask question, why, isn't it? The answer is this. The answer is this. Answer is because of not enough meditation, not enough absorption meditation in particularly. So we need to meditate more. So in brief, every time a conceptualization arises, make sure that it is antidote arrive here too. For it is through antidote that your aspiration must be concentrated to destroy the false conception, and all the path too must be traversed by way of destroying this false conception. For this purpose, adopt four-factor belonging to the class of enlightened phenomena. So, so the conclusion of the summary of this understanding, you can summarize this. We even before we enter into the actual path of seeing, through at least understanding the what really happens in the path of seeing, and we at least try to imitate or at least try to use the similar technique in our best capability, which are the practice of session and post session. We try our very best to do absorption meditation. Then and during that absorption meditation, we try to actualize the similar pattern, not the actual one, but the similar pattern, the practice of the practice of uninterrupted path, the Parche Melam, and the practice of the path of thoroughly liberation, the Nongdro. Usually, this two is the main feature of the from part of seeing onward. Whenever the practitioner go into the meditation session, so such as the first moment of the path of seeing, which is the meditation session, is the path of uninterrupted path. So what it really means is uninterrupted path means uninterrupted by the negation, uninterrupted by the false. So when the practitioner go into the first moment of path of seeing, completely completely occupy their system single pointedly on the meditation of emptiness. And that meditation on direct wisdom of emptiness in the meditation absorption, it become the path of uninterrupted path, which directly open on to the negation. And in our system, the negation, there's no occurrence of the negation. Even though not completely destroy it, not completely eradicate it, but there's no occurrence of negation, as if there's no negation at all. So the example for this is in the dark room, in the middle of the night, midnight, in the dark room, you on the light, then the darkness disappear, isn't it? So as long as you stay on the light, it is very much you are in the state of uninterrupted light. You see, uninterrupted light, like such as like uninterrupted path. You see, but if you don't continue the uninterrupted path until that you achieve the complete cessation from the negation, then you cannot achieve the cessation. You cannot achieve the nirvana from it. You cannot achieve absolute freedom or absolute eradication from that particular negation. Similarly, if you don't stay on the light until the next day dawn, until next day light, if you off the light halfway, the darkness will return, isn't it? But if you stay on the light all the way up to the next day, the light sunrise comes, then the darkness of that night never will occur again. It's like you really achieve within that 24 hour, you definitely achieve the cessation or the liberation from that the darkness of that light, isn't it? So similarly, uninterruptedly continuing the meditation on direct realization on the wisdom of emptiness, then when you then that will lead to achieving of the part of the third liberation, and that is the stage that whatever proportions of negation that you wanted to purify, then you're able to achieve the complete eradication of that, and that way you move on to the next level of path. But before moving on to the next level of the path, you need to come out from the session, in order to gather gather more strength, in order to gather more strength in your concentration, the conducive conditions like merits, because the next level of negation will be far more subtle. The next level of negation will be far more stronger. So therefore, even though the emptiness wisdom is the same, but it requires more concentrations. It requires more support of merits. So therefore, then the meditator, after achieving the cessation, Namdolam, then they come out to the jetop, which is the post-meditation. Then during post-meditation, then you do all the altruistic activities, such as engaging in generosity, and the rest of the five the parameters practices in order to accumulate, in order to, like such as, the up to 4 parameters activities to accumulate huge resources of merit by practicing generosity, by practicing joyous effort, by practicing morality, by practicing patience. So, as we know, if we practice patience, if we practice generosity, how much merit we accumulate, isn't it? So then the fifth one, by practicing concentration, it is strengthen the concentration which you're going to utilize during the meditation session next, will make your concentration even greater, force. So once you accomplish all this necessary gathering of resources is complete, then you again enter into the next level of path, which is the meditation session, and the way to do that is again repeating the path of uninterrupted path, and the path of the then that will lead to the path of the thoroughly liberation. You see, so now we as a beginner, we have not achieved this level of path, but we can imitate this. So we can at least train ourselves in this. You see, so every day, try to find at least half an hour, 1 hour sessions to meditate on emptiness. You see, meditate on emptiness, absorption meditation on emptiness, and try to train our mind to completely, fully focus, only serviceable in the concentration of meditation, not allowing any other conceptual thoughts. Train ourselves in that. Then, and that also you do that in order to, at the beginning, we can do that just to eradicate the negation. The negation can be, the usual day-to-day disturbances. Don't even have to be those intense defilements. In our day-to-day, because of busyness, because of too much outwarded our mind in outward, we get exhausted, we get disturbed, isn't it? We get tired, isn't it? So just to bring some inner peace, just to just to bring ourselves in the present moment, and that busyness, that disturbances, you take as a negation. You see, so for that, now you go into emptiness meditation session. Can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, doesn't matter. So when you out of that meditation, then you try your best to occupy your activity with accumulation of merit, through artistic activities like practicing generosity, etc., practicing patience, etc. You can apply that in the job place. You can apply that with the families. You can apply that with whatever situation that you're experiencing. Try to interpret that into the 6 parameters practices. So then from there, you gather so much merits, and at the same time you try to do some shamatha meditation. Then you strengthen your concentration, you strengthen your focus. That makes your mind more serviceable when you do meditation. So then after that, the next day, again, do session. So we can do like that, in one day, a few times, or at least once a day. So training like that, eventually, then we may able to, how to say, even though we have not actualized the actual path, but we will be so familiar with the antidotes, then, whenever the disturbances arises, our antidote will be right there to defend, right there to overcome, and like that. Okay. Yeah, so like that. Okay, so I read through the text. So again, the following was taught. Selingba taught. It says like Selingba says like, adverse conditions are your spiritual teacher. Demons and possessor spirit, the Buddha's emanations. Sickness is the broom for negative karma and defilement. Suffering a display of ultimate reality's expenses. Then there are the 4 thoroughly afflicted factors. They are vital if you are to tame the barbarian borderland. They are essential too in the era of degeneration to bear with the misguided way of negative companion. So then Atisha's commentary. The meaning of this line is as follows. Even if unwanted adverse conditions such as sickness and suffering befall you, turn this into cat, catalyst and take on top of this the sickness and suffering of all sentient beings. So take all those adversities as a Lojong practice, as training of our mind, developing our heart, and in particularly, doing Tonglen practices by taking all other suffering onto the sufferings and problems that what one go through. He's talking about that. I continue reading. Take this on mentally without reservation and rejoice for having taken them en masse. Similarly, as you give to sentient beings whatever favorable conditions you enjoy, such as your happiness, rejoice in sentient beings, perfecting their accumulations of merits. Likewise, whatever conditions of sight, sound, smell, taste, and so on that arise, if probed, they are nowhere to find. They are nowhere to found. Place your mind in this truth of unfindability and rejoice in adverse conditions. Rejoice in adverse conditions with the thought, they are my spiritual teachers, exhorting me to the ultimate expenses. They are conducive conditions for attaining enlightenment. When harms from ghosts, ogresses, side spirits, and so on befall you, place upon this with your entire heart whatever harms and suffering sentient beings may possess, thinking, I have definitely taken this. Cultivate a sense of joy by giving to the agents of harm whatever they desire, such as flesh, blood, and so on, of your body, out of compassion, out of loving kindness, and out of the awakening mind. The harms are turned into factor conducive to attaining enlightenment and therefore assist your journey to enlightenment. Given that all these malevolent forces are emanations of the Buddhas, you should cultivate inconceivably joy and respect towards them. When you are suffering from an illness, take all the sickness and pains of sentient beings into every core of your heart and imagine that all sentient beings attain perfect abandonment. Thinking this has served its purposes, cultivate joy. When you are free of sickness, again motivated thus, give the sentient beings all your happiness it is causes and imagine that all sentient beings attain perfect realizations. Thinking this has served its purposes, cultivate joy. This sweep away negative karma and the obscurations, for it does not allow negative karma and obscurations to linger unchallenged for even a single moment. If a hundred suffering arises, a hundred ways to search for their true nature will emerge. However, give that these sufferings never truly exist, never truly existed. These are 100 different ways, to not find them. These are therefore the 100 abandonment and the 100 realizations, a great display of ultimate expenses. Cultivate joy in this. Cultivate joy in this. These then are the object to be relinquished, the 4 thoroughly unenlightened factors. Yeah, I'm smiling, I'm laughing at my poor English reading. The teachings are yummy, but my reading makes very bit lousy. So you must please read yourself. Yeah, you must read after the teaching finish. You must read many times, at least one time, and then it's so easy to understand and so wonderful. You see, yeah. Oh, then again, the following teaching was taught by Silingba. This training is the great counterpoint to happiness. This is the great success to misery. This is the charm that attracts misfortune. And this is the capping of wishes that are least useful. There are 4 antidotes to misguided way. They are vital if you are to tame the barbarian borderland. They are essential too in the age of degeneration to bear with the misguided way of negative companions. So somehow these verses, this particular verses, I didn't see of the few texts, the Tibetan texts that we have, even in the great collection texts, great collection of the Lojong, great collection Lojong, you don't have, but it's in the translation here. So, mm, so. Yeah, so it's compiled from other texts, the missing texts, or the other texts compiled together. So in any way, it is still the flow of the complete text of this, but like in the what you call, even in the root text in the English translation version, and the Tibetan, the text that you don't see all go along together. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, the Shunu Gyalchok, sees the importance of all this putting together in this way, in particular this commentary. You can see that. So the meaning of the verses that just read, the meaning of this line is as follow: harbor modest desire and contentment to the counteract the longing for pleasure, the sensual pleasure, such as for food, drinks, wealth, fame, and so on. For this obstruct the pursuit of virtuous activities. So counteract the adverse concerns also. On this basis, follow up suffering with additional pain. So if we continue to desire and long for sensual pleasure and adverse concerns, then that in fact brings more suffering. It will bring more problem, more sufferings in life. So renounce them. So here in the text, given example, if your leg hurts, go for circumambulation. If your back hurts, do prostrations. If you suffer too much greed, give things away to others. If you suffer distraction, enter into retreat. And if you delight in gossip, cease speaking. When you suffer great unwanted omens such as negative reputation, dispute, magical spell, and malicious gossip, since these are means for subduing the malevolent demons of self-grasping, welcome them as auspicious, as you would charm that attract good fortune. Cultivate courage by shouting, "Send me more." With the thought, as a consequences of all this event befall me, even that are normally of no benefit, if I can use them to subdue this self, from here on I will not be reborn in self-existent. In this manner, you kept your desire and ensure that you achieve the strength of these 3 aspects of forbearances. These 4 kind of adverse conditions are then the 4 misguided way, the object of thorough application of the 4 antidotes. So they are very beneficial, practical teachings. You see, you see, if your leg hurts, go for circumambulations. So it's giving a lot of wonderful exercising tips as a dharma practice, as a Lojong practice. If your leg hurts, then don't sit too long. Rather you exercise. Go for circumambulation of holy objects. If you don't have a stupa nearby, like Nepal, like Buddha stupa, Bodh Gaya stupa, or monasteries, then in your room, you can create a table, small table. Then there you can put relics or stupas, holy object like Buddha's pictures, Guru's pictures, or sutras, whatever holy object you have, you can place there. Then you circumambulate, or you put body, speech, and mind. One Buddha, any Buddha satsas or images, pictures, whatever. Then one scripture can be Hasutra, can be Golden Sutra. Then one stupa, it could be just a picture stupa, or whatever stupa. Then you circumambulate, like Kyabja Lama Sopa Rinpoche, wherever Rinpoche goes, in his room, he create this table in the middle of either living room or in his altar room. Even when Rinpoche travel, last time when I was Rinpoche's attendant, even in the when we transit, live in a transit hotel for just few hours, Rinpoche will ask to create this table, and put all his scriptures, stupas and relics all there, and not only us go around and circumambulate, even Rinpoche himself, put effort to go and circumambulate. Even like waiters, staffs, hotel staffs, they come in, you advise them to go around one time like that. So we can create, anyone can create that in our room, in our house. You see, one area, because we everywhere we go, we accumulate a lot of tsatsas, pictures, scriptures, so everything you just put onto that table, nicely, that even the arrangement, like make like a stupa, like that. So fill up, all around like this. Then every opportunity you go around, even at least once, when you go in, go from here. When you come out, go from this way. You make a huge circumambulation. You see, especially if you're able to do that with a lot of mantras and a lot of holy object, you will be even so wonderful, like relics, etc., like that. You see, so it's good for our health, good for our mobility. You see, so therefore, if your leg hurts, go for circumambulation. Or if your back hurts, then don't say ayah, sit there. Rather do prostrations. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, this is especially for me. I should do more prostrations. Do prostrations, and it's so true, because when you do prostration, it really, how to say, stretches, whole entire limbs and whole entire organs and bodies. So wonderful and unbelievable merit, isn't it? If you suffer too much greed, give away. You see, if you suffer too much greed, too much grasping, too much greed, of wanting too many things, then you start to give away. To do with money, to do with things. You see, you start to share with others. There's some people. Anyway, like that. I like that. Then if you suffer distractions, this is another big problem to us, isn't it? Distractions. Then time to time go into retreat. Distraction from social media, distraction from too much noise from this and that people, and distractions from sensual distractions, or including distraction from delusions. Then time to time, we take a break from distractions, go into retreat, do retreat, you can do Lamrim retreat, you can do Lojong retreat, you can do retreat on this text, you can do retreat on each topic of Lamrim, each topic of this Lojong teachings. You can do any daily yoga retreats, like Omani Peme Home retreats. You don't even need initiation to do that. Just to recite mantra of any deities, you don't even need an initiation. If you have initiation, then best you can do according with sadhana. You see, so this is so wonderful, so wonderful teaching, isn't it? Then another big problem, if you delight in gossip, if you delight in gossip, if our mind cannot occupy by practice of mantra, sadhana, and talking good thing, then we should take we should go for nyungne. Time to time you can take 8 minor precept, and together with 8 minor precept, you can also take the precept of being in silent. 8 minor precept itself is not particularly need to be silent, but conjoined with 8 minor precept, 1 day precept, 24 hours precept, then you can also add the precept of silent, keeping silent. Keeping silent in the motivation of purifying any karma in relation to bad speech, like that. So like this, yeah. Okay. Then again the following was taught. The verses: self is the root of negative karma. It is to be discarded decisively. Others is the source of enlightenment. It is to be embraced enthusiastically. These two teachings draw the remedy to a close. They are vital if you are to tame the barbarian borderland. They are essential too in the age of degeneration to bear with the misguided ways of negative companion. The meaning of this line is as follows. Give that the self is the source of all unwanted events and the root of all negative actions. Talking about self-grasping, ignorant. Not talking about this conventional person. It's talking about the idea about this conventional person, the false grasping about me, I, mine. This is talking about. This is the one what is talking about self. We should never cherish it. We should never fulfill the urge, the demand of self-cherishing attitude, or the self-grasping false, ambitions. Rather, discard it with the total abandon. We should reflect. Or enemies, if you like it, take it. So the inner outer secret enemies, obstacles, if you like it, then please take it. This self-grasping ignorant, this self-grasping attitude, this false I, please take it. Or demon, if you like it, take it. If not in haste, then eat it cooked. Making it so drastic, take it straight away, But then if you show that you are not so hurried to take you right away, then, you slowly cook it, prepare it nicely like a meal. If in haste, you take it and run, So basically, the obstacles and demons and harm givers, whatever way you desire, you take it. This false I. In this way, totally discard your own self and serve the well-being of all. You see. So without eliminating the self-grasping, ignorant and self-grasping attitude, then we won't able to genuinely, completely have the heart of cherishing the well-being of all others. You see. So therefore, we need to diminish that self-cherishing, self-grasping attitude at least by bringing an antidote alive in our system, the antidote of lack of true existence of self, the understanding of lack of true existence of self, and the antidote of the understanding of the faults of self-cherishing attitude, and understanding the advantage of cherishing the well-being of all sentient beings. Like that. As I mentioned before, we through such practice, be in the like uninterrupted path, like similar to like be in uninterrupted path, bringing the antidote alive. You see, so then try to train our mind to express fully the view of emptiness and the wholehearted, genuine cherishing of all other living beings' well-being, even though we have not actualized bodhicitta yet, even though we have not actualized the perfect realization of emptiness yet, but we can train in that like that. And since the joyful embracing of others' welfare through forsaking your own self-interest is the source of excellent goodness, nurture sentient beings with kindness and take their suffering upon yourself. These two teachings, which bring closure to the object to be relinquished, and their remedies are the practice of great beings. Then the verse says, cast away decisively, let go with ease, dismantle thoroughly, and let be with the gentleness. These are the four aspects of sealing of emptiness. They are vital if you are tame the barbaric borderland. They are essential too in the age of degeneration. To bear with the misguided ways of negative companion, if you engage in the practice in this way, being will not be fettered but will attain freedom. So this particular verse, I don't see in the Tibetan writing of this the root text. You don't see in the root text, but you can see in this the commentary. So therefore, this could be added by the compiler of this treatise, the Shunna Gyalchok. Okay, the meaning of this line is follow. You should decisively cast away all dualistic thought of perceived object and perceiving cognition, and let your mind rest free and radiant. The second is absent of conceptualization and bondage in the ultimate expense that is free of conceptual elaboration. Okay. The sealing of four emptiness. The first one is you should decisively cast away all dualistic thoughts of perceiving object and perceive object and perceiving cognition. And the second is let your mind rest free and radiance. Third is absent of conceptualization and bondage in the ultimate expense that is free of conceptual elaboration. Fourth, do not cast after earlier instant of cognition. Do not anticipate the future, but free of clinging. Let the present remain as it is. Let it rest free in its natural state, uncontrived and free of any exaggeration or denigration. These are the four aspects of sealing of emptiness. If you practice in this manner, you will not be chained by karma and silent existence. Rather, you will be free and you will attain liberation. If you practice the four sealing of emptiness that way. Some practice other than this would fail to tame the barbarian sentient being of this era of degeneration. Yet, possessing this, you will be immune to obstacle and will achieve the well-beings of sentient being with ease. Thus taught Selingpa. So not only, someone that who need to guide sentient being like Atisha, someone who need to who carry the responsibility of teacher to tame the disciple, but even like we individuals, who ourselves responsible to tame ourselves, isn't it? So this teaching is equally, importance and essence to all of us. If we truly want to tame ourselves from these two, most disturbing, grasping, ignorant, and grasping, cherishing, centered mind, then the the sealing of four emptiness and the rest of the earlier the teachings, the teachings on method and wisdom is needed, to have a successful our spiritual achievement. Otherwise, in this degenerated time, we as a degenerated being in this degenerated time won't be so easy just simply know a lot, just simply know philosophy, just simply studies so many teaching, just simply have many guru, just simply been so long in Dharma learning. It's not easy. We need, shield of this specific pit instructions to really to really to handle ourselves, this difficult person, the difficult I, So that's taught Silingpa. Then I have here presented the teachings of the peerless Silingpa in precise accordance with his words. So again here, can be this added word, can relate to both Atisha as well as the Shunu Gyalchok. Whatever commentary the Atisha have given on the basis of Silingpa's verses, then I have here presented, can refer to Atisha, and those additional verses and additional teachings in this commentary, then I have here presented the teaching can understand as a Shunu Gyalchok himself. So I have here presented the teachings of the peerless Silingpa in precise accordance with his word. The Amo Gapasa Tantra state, wisdom refer to enlightenment, which is the Dharmakaya, while heroic being indicate skillful means, which is the Bodhicitta. With these two, the welfare of sentient beings will be achieved. Again, the Guya Samaja Tantra entitled Drop of Freedom state, then with compassion as the sole basis, all enlightened quality will arise. So compassion is the root for the enlightenment. Compassion is the basis of the enlightenment. Even bodhicitta and the altruistic wisdom of emptiness only able to achieve if you have the basis of compassion. Then again, if the root of compassion is absent, one cannot endure hardship. So in order to practice Lojong, in order to practice altruistic wisdom and method, in order to follow the Bodhisattva's footsteps, traveling through 5 paths and 10 grounds, including the preliminary practices before entering into the path, is very much, even the time frame is about 3 countless eons of times of effort. As the amount of the task is, needed to accumulate 3 countless eons of merit of method, merit of wisdoms. You see, so not an easy task, not a short-term practice. So therefore, if we don't have the root, the basis of compassion, then we won't able to endure the hardship, such a lengthy and such a great practice. So, yeah, like that. The sutra entitled Perfectly Gathering the Qualities of Avalokiteshvara state, whosoever aspire to attain full enlightenment swiftly should not trained in many practices. What is that soul practice? Or what is that soul practice? If not many, then what is that soul practice? It is great compassion. So that is great compassion. You see, so that the great compassion, as a very initial stage, that great compassion referring to being taking good care of yourself, genuine compassionately. The way to do that is take care of yourself with gathering full of virtues, committing abundant causes for your future happiness, because you do not want you to suffer. Then taking care of yourself compassionately, to always protect yourself, your three doors, engaging in negative karma and delusions. So that way you don't suffer now. That way you don't accumulate any causes of future suffering. So this is how compassionately taking care of you. Then this compassion grow to the greater, area. So you express that to all the family members, your friends, then rest of the humanity. Then that great compassion will grow, immeasurable compassion, to compassion to all numberless sentient beings. Then that will grow into a altruistic compassion, which equipped with, the most courageous mind of Laksam, by myself alone will free rest of the numberless sentient being from entire oceans of suffering and its causes. And you're taking responsibility by yourself alone. Then that directly result yourself to become Bodhisattva. To become Bodhisattva. Then compassion is the one that is like the water that nurture you along the 5 paths, 10 bhumis, all the way up to achieving the complete perfected compassion of altruism, the Buddha's omniscient mind. You see, so therefore, if you really inspire to achieve full enlightenment swiftly, then don't distract by this and that, all sort of many ideas, many form of practices, scattered everywhere. As mentioned before, everything try to take as a cause and condition to develop the altruism. So therefore, one should practice that one soul practice, that which is the great compassion. So I continue reading. For whoever possesses great compassion, possesses in his palm all the teachings of the Buddha. He shall achieve this without effort and without assertion. In brief, great compassion is the root of all the teachings. You see, great compassion is the root of all the teachings. You see, therefore, like the Chandrakrit is entering into the middle way, praise the great, I praise the great compassion. You see, its importance as like a seed at the beginning, as a water at the middle, then as a fruit at the maturity. You see, so you see, so compassion is the entry to the Bodhisattva's path. Compassion is the conducive condition to develop the altruism. Compassion is the reason, even after you achieve the Buddhahood, to make Buddha to be most useful, most beneficial for the well-being of sentient beings. So compassion is the one that which does all that. So in brief, the great compassion is the root of all the teachings. Okay, so this instruction was given to Atisha, the saver of beings, by his teacher Silingpa, Dhammarakshita, to help tame the people of barbarian borderland. Okay, thank you. So I've completed reading of this commentary. So please kindly help to read by yourself one more time at least, so that you will able to make it very clear to yourself, all the points and all the teaching. So thank you very much and very auspicious. So now for next teaching, we will go back to the where we left from last. We will continue from there. So that is, we will be going back to page 197. The teaching on taking affliction onto the path. So we will do that teaching on the next session. So thank you very much. And also, just came into knowledge that there are quite a number of group of people, even from United States and Canada, even though the time is different, completely opposite from here. So at least from the recording that Stephanie put so much effort to keep the recording, archive the recordings of all these Lojong teachings. So I was informed that there are a group of people even from Canada and USA diligently, without missing, listening to the every class from the YouTube recording, and they study the teaching, and they also do discussions. If I remember correctly, I think they do discussions, and they online, themselves come together and share, discuss something like that. So it's really rejoicing, to hear this. So not only in Australia, in Southeast Asia, and some part of Europe, putting so much effort, but even in completely different time, and also in Russia, the APMD Russian center students, as well as also others, putting so much effort. They many of them need translator, and they are amazing, Bodhisattva translator that from the very beginning, who wholeheartedly, with so much rejoice, dedicate to offer translation in Russian language to bring benefit to the Russian practitioners. So it's so much effort from so many different places. So it is so rejoicing, and so unbelievable rejoicing. So I really appreciate and thanks to all of you, really putting so much effort in purification of karma and delusion, accumulation of merit of method and merit of wisdom, and in particularly, as what we learned today, try to summarize all your learnings and all your other practices into essence, practice of the pit instruction that comes from Lojong teachings. In short, everything summarizing in the development of altruistic wisdom and bodhicitta, and directly, directly antidoting to the two root problem maker, the self-grasping ignorance and self-cherishing attitude. It's, so therefore, what can be more meaningful than this kind of life? What can be greater benefit than, offering these teachings that can achieve? And also, what can be greater benefit than, greater service that you can offer to benefit through dharma to sentient beings, people who are behind the scene, like such as APMD Australia, Peter, and especially Stephanie, that who weekly, making sure that remind everyone of the Lojong class through social media, putting up, the notice, then archiving, naming, accordingly. All the YouTube recordings is not an easy task, a lot of work, and so, but then again, so much rejoicing. What can be such a great benefit than this? Offering pure dharma to people who sincerely showing interest to learn and practice, isn't it? So therefore, rejoice to everyone, and I am so thankful and pleased for this best gift from each and every one of you, putting so much effort, and you truly are really patient, great practitioner, full of perseverance, full of effort to deal person like me. You can see when I read, it's awful reading. Then I get so much sidetrack, and people can finish the commentary within half an hour. For me, it takes a few days like that. So is it so? But then all of you, now almost 2 years since the day pandemic started, almost 2 years, you all able to what do you call tolerate me. So that is amazing, and I sincerely appreciate and thanks to each and every one of you, who are putting effort on that. So thank you so much. Yeah, then we will continue, and I receive beautiful and encouraging requesting to continue the teaching from APMD Australia office. And also I receive other letters from some other senders, individual students, expressing, how beneficial this has been for them. So yeah, since the pandemic is still persisting, even though, the world is opening to new COVID normal, because of many people are already receiving vaccines, but then due to undermining and carelessness, and thinking that after have vaccine, then don't be careful, then many people, just last few days, I received so many news that so many people around the world, almost every part of the world, the surge of the COVID problem again. There's so many individuals are infected by COVID and bringing a lot of troubles. So therefore, I urge and I request each and every one of you, please continue to stay safe from COVID, continue to practice all the COVID precautions, in particularly, the wearing masks, social distancing, hand sanitizing. I think these are so important. Then on top of that, eating well, getting restful sleep, restful rest, and on top of that, most important element is positive and calm mind, and that can be done through all these Lojong teachings. All the teachings are method to calm our mind and stay positive, and take every experiences onto the path to enlightenment. Okay, so I will continue with the Lojong teaching. The only thing is, this teaching is very much pop up due to COVID. Usually, the teachings are organized by individual centers. I'm one of the touring Geshe, touring teacher in the APMD center. So I usually physically visit different centers and study groups around the world and offer teachings. But due to COVID, unable to do that. And even though during COVID period, I'm still offering some individual teachings to different centers, but then on the request of APMD Australia, even though it is not their direct, kind of responsibility, and it is a burden and extra work for APMD Australia office, like for Stephanie, it is extra work. But the big heart of Stephanie and the team, wanting to really to benefit so many people, brothers, sisters around the world. So Stephanie didn't mind to really to lead, organizing this program. So therefore, I think I will try my best to continue as until that we really physically able to visit, different centers, But then once we able to visit different centers and the individual centers able to invite touring teachers and visiting teachers, and actively that you can have your own resident teachers program, then this Lojong teaching may not necessarily have to continue, because I don't want to take any of your precious time in individual centers and study groups where you can have physical teaching activities. So until we have that for everywhere, myself happily will continue go through these teachings. Okay. So thank you very much and take care. So so quickly do dedication. May this collective merit be a complete cause for numberless sentient beings to be free from oceans of samsaric sufferings and its causes, karma and delusion, and actualize temporary happiness after the peerless happiness, enlightenment. May this collective merit be a complete cause. Anyone who passed away in last 49 days, like such as the late Madam Te Kai Heng, Kat Musia, and the others who have sent name list before. So then anyone who passed away be free from suffering of death, suffering of inhibited, suffering of rebirth, actualize rebirth in pure land, and there within that very lifetime actualize state of full enlightenment accordingly. And may anyone that who are going through challenges from different sort of sicknesses, problems, in particularly due to COVID, such as Natalia and her two little children, Fabrice Love and Vasilisa, and anyone that I heard that I received name for dedication prayers, and that that who are in difficult time, we dedicate our collective merit for them to overcome all these challenges and have a swift recovery, complete recovery, and able to enjoy perfect health, long life, and meaning of life up to full enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause. All the world leaders, the leaders of organizations, the leaders of the family members, and yourself who lead your life be free from the emotions like such as self-grasping ignorance, self-cherishing attitude, and equipped with full of virtues, full of wisdom of selflessness, attitude of loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, so that anyone under their leadership can able to enjoy only peace and happiness and virtue accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the good people in this world, like such as His Holiness Dalai Lama, all your spiritual gurus, and yourself and your family members, always enjoy good health, long life, and fulfill all your aspirations up to enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause. Anyone that who behind the scene putting a lot of effort to make accessible to this teaching, organizing this teaching, and sharing this teaching, translating this teaching, whoever they may be, may they always enjoy good health, long life, prosperity, and fulfill all their aspiration of enlightenment accordingly. May they achieve all the Bodhisattva's aspiration, through this engagement. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the religious institutions, monasteries, nunneries, and dharma centers be free from inner outer secret obstacles, and actualize all the conducive conditions to preserve the virtue and dharma, both in extensive learning and practice in a realization on the stage of the path accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause. May we able to really to listen completely, clearly, and understand completely, clearly, and also faithfully, with full conviction, and responsibility. We follow, like how Lama Atisha follow the teaching, the instruction that we learn from Lama Selingpa. So Lama Atisha is our lineage guru. Therefore, we as a disciple, we follow the footsteps, how our guru have cultivated. We too were able to accomplish, all the teachings, both in practice and realizations accordingly. The dedicated to ourselves, the merit and the purpose that we dedicate all lies in the nature of emptiness. Oh yeah, so if you have any individual dedications, please do now. Oh, Jawadi, you do the Lama Sanji to Yun and Rowaji Yamaluba, de Sala Gobara, Janjo Zemjorin Boje Majapanam Jiju, Jawan and Bame by Okonego, Tony Tower and Boje Majapanam Jiju, Jawan and Bame by Okonego Pevers. The near Tower and Boje Majapanam Jiju, Jawan and Bame by Okonego Pevara, Carry Raveko, dependent of Wamali Joan. Cherese one thing Jazo Shabesi, but the danger, Topzo Change Jango Jave, the Jobe Conzo Dopo, Chozongo Lemon to do. Dazo de Jagondo Shab de Jo, Jambe Power, the Chamba, Kodo, Sambo de and Desi, the Dakunji, so Dalos. Java de Dadam Jerab Dongo, the Zonche, Java Tamje de Nova, Galacho, about the Daji Jawa de Gunja, Sambo, Jerab Dongo, Variety. Pamazim Jedam Jedenda, the Jing and Rodam Jeda, Donga, the Janjo Sembakana, Sujo, the Dagunje, Molam, to you, Semjena Bachin, Banyo, Donella, Jujuven and Malib. Tado Juma, member Jumne, the Jabajuma, and the Bazan, Namana, the Viji, Jabala Chadro, Josabazaba, Sambola Chadro, Diada, Ombezati, all the names of the damages. Diadon Bezati, all the names of the damages, or Diadon Bezati, all the names of the damages, or Diadon Bezati, all the names of the damages, or Diadon Bezati, all the names of the damages. Diadon Bezati, all the names of the damages, or Diadon Bezati, all the names of the damages, or Diadon Bezati, all the names of the damages, Chum de Deja, Rajaman, the Zobasanji. More the Mola the Gerado de Javola Chats. Major Jave Jelada than the Luame, then by the Dajela Santa Beto, Namda Benego to Joroje. Bedanzo Amiga Beijing, the Wobasam Jessim Jera, walk on the Samba Chichin, Taji, Jutambaji, then comes to Jumba, then by Nivation to Savai, then the Polosion to them. Then by Uren never Daji, Yamondele, Sendele, Nimekoyan, the legend, Zeta to Dele. Kunjo Sumje Daji Show. Okay, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.